Hello basketball coaches and basketball players, my name is Alan from Al's Basketball Training, and today I am going to talk to you about a basketball playbook that you can use with a basketball team that's under 10 years old or even under 11 years old if you have one really good guard and one really good center. So hello everyone, my name is Alan from Al's Basketball Training. If you're new to this channel, on this channel I show you basketball plays, drills, and skills. So if you like that stuff, hit that like button and subscribe. But anyways, today I was asked in the comment section of a video a few days ago if I could make a video for a basketball playbook, a set of basketball plays for a team that's under 10 years old if you have a good center as well as a good guard. So first, I would like to say, usually, probably in that age group, they're only playing man-to-man defense. So that's the type of offense that I'm going to be explaining today. But I'm not just going to explain some offense, I'm also going to be explaining some defenses that you can use, as well as some press and press breaks that you can use as well. So let's get down to this clipboard and let's check out these basketball plays. Okay, so in this first play, I've shown this play a few different times on this channel. It's very simple. Basically, it's a box offense. This is what I like to run at this age group, is very simple plays that can get your centers or your guards, especially if you have a really good center or a really good guard, some easy baskets. So your big players will start up top in the high post. Obviously, this is your point guard. And then these are your guards, your guard and your small forward. So what's going to happen is the big guys will head down and set a screen on these two guys. They're going to pop up. After that screen, they're going to pop up. If this is your king center, this is your man, this is your top guy, your point guard can pass player 3 the ball and then pass it down to player 5. What we are hoping for here is a mismatch. And what I mean by that is, what we're hoping for is player 3's defender to say switch, so that now when they were setting those screens, if player 5's screen was so good that player 3 had to call switch, now there's a mismatch. And especially if your guard is on this side instead of your small forward, if your guard is on this side, now your guard will be quicker than player 5 and he could take him one-on-one and player 5 would clear out. Or what can happen is, because this is such a huge mismatch with size, or at least that's what we are thinking, then player 5 could go to town on player 3. And we ran this play when I was in that age of 11, 12, 13. And I was 6 foot tall in grade 6, and I was also 6'1" in grade 8. So I haven't grown much since grade 6. I'm only 6'2" now. But anyways, imagine a 6-footer being guarded by a player who's probably 5'2" or 5'3". So huge height advantage that helps you score a ton of points when you're in grade 6, dropping 30 to 40 points a game. From the low block, you're doing something good. But anyways, going into our next play that is hopefully more advanced than this simple play. So what we're going to run here is just a very simple motion offense. Now we can always come down the court and set up in our box offense, run our box offense down, and then pop out, and then still set up in this 4-out, 2-in motion offense. Basically, what we're doing is having player 1 dribble over to one of the sides. He's going to pass. He is going to then cut through. When he's cutting through, player 4 is setting a screen for him, so he may be open going into the rim. That's our play for player 1. Once that screen goes through, player 1 will pop out to the other side. And before player 2 fills the top, or even while he's filling the top, because player 1 is going to then fill his spot, we're going to have player 4 cutting down, setting a screen for player 5, and player 5 is going to pop up to the top. Now he may have an open shot from up here, or he could cut down towards the low post as well, and he might have an open shot down there. There's multiple different options there. But let's say now that the ball gets swung around, player 3 cuts across. Player 5 is going to set a screen. He's going to cut down. This may be an open pass. If not, he's going to fill out to his spot that he was in originally. And now these players are going to go and switch spots, because now we are reversing the ball back around what we're wanting now is for these players to switch sides. Again, they may be open again, but I doubt it. Player 2 is going to then dribble to this side, pass to player 1. Player 2 is going to cut through. Player 5 is going to set a screen. He may be open for a layup. If not, then he's going to clear out to this side. Player 5 is going to go down, set a screen for player 4. Player 4 is going to head back up. Player 3 is going to fill the point. And now player 1 could pass to player 4 for the shot. So then you can continue this play completely right around and continuous. It's a nice motion offense that is very successful at the younger age because it is just a bit more advanced with all the screens, but still very simple because it's the same motions over and over again. Now, at the younger age group of 10, I don't like to run too many plays. Now, the reason because of this is because at the younger age, they are not necessarily going to be able to remember a lot of plays. So I always like to keep a set play at the under 10 age. And I also like to keep a motion offense as well. That way we can have our set plays to be kind of like quick hitters or set plays that run into our motion offense. And then a motion offense that can cycle through the plays. Now, depending on how advanced and how far late into the season, I sometimes set up a second motion offense, something that's very similar in how, for example, how this one would run. So because we're passing and cutting, we might want to incorporate a 4-out, 1-in pass and cut as well, or maybe a 5-out pass and cut. And if you want to check out those plays, those plays are on this channel throughout. If you want, I can actually, you know what? Let's do it right now. Let me go down to the clipboard and let me show you these plays really quickly. So we have a 4-out, 1-in, 4 players out, 1 player in, and pass and cut, because that's essentially what we were running before with a 3-out, 2-in. Now what we're going to have is player 1, he would pass to player 3. He's going to cut across the key and down the key. If he's open, hit him up for a layup. If he's not, he's going to clear out to the same side that he started from. So he's going to clear out to this side. Player 2 is going to fill his spot. And player 1 red is going to follow him, obviously. And now, because the ball is on this side of the court and the player's already cut through, player 5 blue, he can go and switch sides now. And now he's on this side, where if player 3 was to pass to player 4, what I personally like, now player 3 can just pass and cut and do whatever, but because player 5 is on this side, personally how I like to run it, player 5 really needs to pay attention to what's happening on the court. If he sees player 3 pass over to player 4, personally I like to see him screen up and have player 3 cut down towards that rim, because now he may be open. And if there is a switch, because usually at the younger age groups, especially if the opponent's coach is not very advanced or doesn't know exactly a ton, he might just tell his players to continuously switch. Now this is a mismatch, and now player 2 is going to fill, player 1 is going to fill, player 3 is going to pop out and fill. Now we have player 5 who's able to screen and roll, and now he's rolling towards the basket while screen, seal, and then roll. And now this can be a lob pass in for a layup. So there's many different options with this offense, and we can also run. Let me show you a very simple. Where are my players going? A very simple 5-out pass and cut, where player 2 would pass to player 5. He would cut towards the basket. He may be open. If he's not, don't worry about it. Player 1 is going to fill, player 3 is going to fill, and player 2 is going to pop out. If player 5 passes to player 1, he's going to cut, and player 4 is going to fill, player 5 is going to pop out. Just like that. So, a very simple offense. If the ball gets trapped in the corner, basically when player 5 passes out, we're going to have player 5 cut down towards the rim, and then he can post up for 1 to 2 seconds, and then he's going to pop back out. That's how I personally run that corner in the 5-out at the younger age group. Now, some defenses that you can run with a team that has a good guard and a good center. For one, obviously man-to-man is a very good thing to run at this age. That's probably what you will be running, is a man-to-man offense, or I mean defense. Whoops, my bad. Offense as well, I guess. But basically, at this younger age group of under 10 years old, what's probably going to happen is you're going to be running man-to-man, and how I like to run it is to never switch unless your defender cannot get past that screen. If there's no way he can get past, if he's like hitting a brick wall and he can't get past it, well, you're going to have to switch. But if you can have your players fight through every screen, like if they're going to be, like basically what they're going to be doing when they get older is fighting through the screens, going over top or underneath. I personally like over top the screens. Then that's what's going to happen, and that's going to be allowing you to defend a lot better. Aggressive defense is really good. Now, you could run the 1-4 zone defense that I have a book for. The link is in the description below. The only thing is, if you get, sometimes there's some stipulations with younger age groups where your defenders have to be within 4 to 6 feet of their player. So if that's the case, the 1-4 may not work for you, especially at this age group. But when you get older, definitely look into the 1-4 Unbeatable Basketball defense. The link again is in the description below. But basically, it's a double team from the free throw line down. But the reason why it may work at the younger age groups if they're more advanced is because there's no players inside the key, generally speaking, on the defense. And that's sometimes in some leagues that you can get in trouble, is if there is a player defensively in the key for 5 seconds, kind of like the NBA. Again, I'm going to be making a video soon about NBA zone defenses and how they work in the NBA and how they're different than a regular zone defense. But anyways, that's for a different video. But going on with a press defense. Basically, with a press defense, you personally just run man-to-man at this age group. Man-to-man, three-quarter court. That's what I would do. Let them get the ball inbounded, and then hammer them hard with the three-quarter court press. And with the press break, you're not going to need too much to worry about the press. Lots of teams at this age group will not be running a press defense unless you are, but generally speaking, they're just going to be picking you up in the half court. But if there is a team that does press you, call a timeout and get your players to know that they need to pass that ball around to get it past half court. There's no real sense in making a definite press break with a younger team, especially if it's only going to be man-to-man. Just basically have them pass the ball a lot and keep their head up, looking for the open pass and going up the middle of the court. Anyways, I hope that you have enjoyed today's video. If you have, hit that like button and subscribe. I do post new videos every single day, so I'll see you guys again tomorrow for another daily basketball video.